Radia.
Hey, sup? Hi guys.
Late as usual lah.
Hey, the British government has made it clear that the complaints made by the opposition and civil society groups in Malaysia should be investigated fully.
Yeah, I read that Swaram lobbied on behalf of Bersih and he submitted the report to the Labour MP Tom Greatrex for the electoral fraud.
I read online that the Minister of Foreign Office something don't know what Firewire is coming to Malaysia to look into this.
Firstly, the election complaints are allegations. Secondly, it's Minister Hugo Swire, not Firewire. There's a tendency after every election for winners to amplify their wins and take sole credit for their performance, then for losers to find convenient scapegoats.
Alamak, drama started to be.
It's easy to look at the GE13 results and say BN are the winners and PR are the losers, right? However, this is not so.
Hey, you drink teh tarik also mabuk already.
Hey, let him talk lah. I want to see his logic. Let him talk lah.
Actually, there's much for PR to be happy about, as they are riding an uptrend in terms of the total number of votes received, not to mention an increase in the number of parliament and state seats.
I thought earlier you said that they are turning peace into chaos, friends into foes, splitting families, just so Anwar can become PM.
I, for one, am sure that the new IGP would like to see them try that nonsense. Honestly, we the Rakyat are fed up with the childish antics of the sore losers.
Sore losers? Wow, suddenly you so damn terror.
No man, just fed up lah. We don't care how the new IGP plans to do it. As long as he protects the interests of the Rakyat and doesn't try to manipulate or try to overthrow the government other than the ballot box.
Well, like it or not, DAP is now the tyco of PR. But they are also their own worst enemy.
Where is my husband?
Let's go, no handphone.
Hey, why you say that?
DAP says BN are unable to govern fairly and properly, so that it must do the right thing and work with the government, not against it, right? Being a part of government means can then check and balance what it calls unfair.
Yeah, they must deliver on their promises and not divide the country and further for their own personal glory.
Wait, breaking news lah. All the Black 505 protesters, including Adam Adil and Cikgu Bat, have been freed by the police.
Yeah, they use that silly excuse that it's an illegal gathering just because they didn't give police notice 10 days before.
You see, BN buying kota lagi, right?
That's what the experts call democracy lah.
I am no expert, but to me, democracy means accepting the decision made by the majority of the people. If the opposition disagrees with the GE13 results, they should use legal channels, like filing petitions with the court and show solid proof to support the allegations against the EC and BN.
Hiya, wasting time lah, talking to BN hardcore supporters. Wasting time.
You want to talk about hardcore supporters? Those 32 fellas who were detained by police for marching to parliament, those are hardcore heroes. Some of them broke the barricade, some of them even whacked the policemen.
Actually, these Black 505 protests do not reflect democracy, as the protests are actually against the decision made by the majority of all Malaysians.
Yeah, protests are for those who cannot accept defeat. I agree that attacking the police is not democracy.
So you're saying Menara UMNO killing Chin Egg in Penang is democracy?
Hey, come on lah, let's be fair. That one, the poor fella got buried because a huge lightning arrestor fell from Menara UMNO onto Jalan McAllister.
Yeah man, the actual culprit is storm lah. How can you blame the building just because it happened to be an UMNO building, is it?
Yeah. Besides Chin Ike, an Indian lorry attendant also died, and 5 other people were injured.
Why cannot blame Menara UMNO when everyone is blaming Lim Guan Eng?
That's why I always say, don't get emotional. Look at the facts. The Malay may ran a story quoting a senior policeman saying police investigation with 2 sniffer dogs was aborted because the Penang government failed the traitor.
I also read about that. Bullshit. But Guan has denied being informed of 2 sniffers dog. Spain also don't know how to do it right.
Then, when that uncompleted section of the Penang Bridge at Batu Maung collapsed and buried those 2 people, that one's what called Spain.
Of course, we cannot stop or control natural disasters. But human error is another thing altogether. Where lives and safety is concerned, we should not compromise, merely for the sake of politicizing issues. Both sides must take immediate action to reduce the impact and minimize loss of life and damage.
This goes back to what we were saying earlier, right? PR must work with PN and vice versa, and both must deliver on their promises and not divide the country any further for their own personal glory.
Yeah.
Hello, you want to talk about divide? What about Bang Mukhtar's statement? Leave the country. Cari pasal or cari scapegoat?
Actually, Malaysians have all got long fine for so long. Why are we so combative now?
Well, it's politics these days. You know, the whole divide and rule scheme. You shouldn't fall for that, lah.
Agreed. Malaysians must unite and move on. There's always room for differing opinions. In worst case scenario, you can always agree to disagree. Yeah?
Right.
Yes, don't argue with your hairdresser, especially if he's holding a blade at your neck. Right. Oh, yeah.